Welcome to the 4th episode of The Lightning Run. I'm your host, Lightning.
And I'm the co-host, Robot.
First thing I want to talk about is hope you all had a very nice Summer Sun celebration. That was just this past week. So that was pretty cool. Question Daily had a couple of posts where people did cakes and stuff like that for it, so it was pretty cool. Interviews for the rest of the month, and actually into next month we have some new interviews to talk about. Today we will be doing the interview with the Vinyl Scratch Tapes. That's coming in just a little bit. But the new interview that we have to talk about is that on June 7th we will be having the interview with the Celestia Radio guys. So there'll be DJ Shamrock, and I believe Chukon will be there as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So more information on that to come. But yes, Celestia Radio interview on July 7th.
Yay!
So, without anything else to do, we'll go ahead and move on into the interview. Starting off our podcast for this week, we have an interview with the cast and crew of the Vinyl Scratch Tapes. To start off first, I wanted to talk to Corey, who is the writer of the fanfic. So, Corey, how did this whole thing get started? What sparked the idea for the fic, and why did you choose Vinyl and Octavia?
Well, I first got into My Little Pony about last summer around this time. I had actually just written like a superhero short story that I self-published on Amazon. I guess we can probably link that in the show notes to this. And I immediately loved the show. I thought it was very good writing as far as a kid show goes. I pretty much had the same experience most Bernies have. It's just like, hey, let me check out this cool thing, and it ends up being amazing, of course. So I had written a lot of fan fiction before. So what I did was I had an idea for writing a fanfic that it wasn't the Vinyl Scratch Tape. It was actually another story that was actually a crossover between H.P. Lovecraft and My Little Pony. It had Trixie as the main character, and that probably sounds awesome, but it really wasn't. I sort of didn't have a plan, and it ended up sort of collapsing in on itself. But one idea I did have in it that I really liked was I was sort of wanted to dump exposition by having one of the characters hear something over the radio, and I thought of having Vinyl Scratch be the person who delivers that, since I latched on to like the 1 second appearance that she had in the first episode she appeared in, and thought she was really cool. So, and basically the personality I had for her was sort of like a early morning radio host who is overly excited, and I really liked the idea. So eventually I thought that the idea for that was way more interesting than the actual story that I was writing. So what I did, I got the idea for Vinyl Scratch Tapes, and what I did was I had Vinyl Scratch host a radio show, and it was in transcript format. Since basically that was a device because I write dialogue really well and don't work so well with like imagery, so I just sort of cheated and devised a way that I could just write dialogue and be justified in doing it since it's a transcript of a radio show. And originally it was just going to be Vinyl interviewing ponies, but I realized very quickly that with just one person talking for most of the time, it gets very boring. So I quickly realized there had to be someone for her to bounce off of. So I added Octavia in. That wasn't the original plan. It was really more of an afterthought than anything else, and I had her be the straight man to it. I thought Octavia would fit the straight man role well, since her only appearance was being very dignified and posh. So I thought they would play well off of each other, and I didn't have a plan when I first started writing the fanfic, but it sort of evolved from there, and the characterization that those two had together was really enjoyable, and apparently it resonated with a lot of people since it became very popular shortly thereafter. And basically that was the genesis of that, and I pretty much had some ideas for some more episodes after that. Originally it was only going to be just like a standalone thing, but it became like so popular that I added more onto it, and now there's 2 seasons. So yeah, that's pretty much how that came about.
All right, cool. So was it always your intention to do 2 seasons, or did that just kind of happen?
Well, I left the idea of doing a second season open when I finished the first season. I sort of left a little cliffhanger message at the end of it. I wasn't sure if I would actually do it when I first finished the first season, however. Really, around the time the audio adaptation came out and became really popular, it sort of gave me the idea to do a second one, and I got a good idea for a storyline for season 2. I didn't want to just like rehash the first season again with just like interviews with new people. I wanted there to actually be a story arc, and enough happens in season 2 that's different from season 1 that I felt like it was justified to do that.
Okay. One thing I've always been interested about when I listen to this recording is how you came up with the personalities for these 2 background characters, being that in the show they obviously don't have personalities yet because they haven't had any speaking lines. And did any of this come from Allegreza, or did that actually come out after you wrote this fic?
I think Allegreza came out after I wrote this one. I've talked to the writer of Allegreza before, and he wasn't like influenced by my fic in any way, and I wasn't aware of Allegreza until actually not that long ago, just a couple months ago. I think around when I first wrote it, there wasn't really an accepted fan and personality for Octavia or Vinyl. Basically, Vinyl's personality was more influenced by like morning radio hosts in general who are way too excited to be wherever they are at any given time, kind of influenced by Howard Stern and how abrasive she is to the people that she has on her show, at least in the beginning. Octavia was pretty much supposed to be like the straight man to Vinyl, and eventually her character evolved from that. It wasn't the first season, I'll admit, I didn't really have the arc planned out from the very beginning. It just sort of evolved and ended up being pretty... I thought it ended up pretty good.
And now that season 2 is over, what can we expect from you in the future for the Vinyl Scratch Tape?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a season 3 just yet, because I want to have an idea of a new storyline for that. But I did, at the end of season 2, I left it open saying that there would be Vinyl Scratch specials, which I want to do a few standalones that are a bit different from what has been going on in the past 2 seasons. I had an idea of doing a special that actually is about another radio show aside from the Vinyl Scratch in that setting, basically with Lyra, and the idea I had was basically she hosts like the equestrian version of Ancient Aliens, where she just talks about conspiracy theories and how humans are among us and the government is covering it up, and I thought that was mostly influenced by Robot Butterfly's voice for Lyra being the fan and accepted version of Lyra, and I wanted to do something with that, and then I got that idea because I like the Lyra is obsessed with humans angle. So that's definitely going to come out at some point, and I had a few other ideas for specials that I'm thinking of doing as well. I'm not sure if there's going to be a full season 3 yet, but there is some more stuff to look forward to in the near future.
All right, that sounds good. I'm going to move on from the fanfic and actually go into the actual recordings now. I want to talk to Jamjar and Emerald Page.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Can you tell me what Midnight Magic Productions is and how this whole thing got started with the Vinyl Scratch Tapes master recording?
Well, the funny thing is I was looking, and I think yesterday is the 1-year anniversary of me leaving a message on EQD on the for the fanfic, the Vinyl Scratch Tapes, and I had it open in a tab, and now I feel horrible for losing it. Here, I'll pull it up here real quick. And there it is. Control F, EMER. All right, here it is. And it was actually on the 20th, so 3 days ago. It was the 1-year anniversary of when I said, "Hey, at Corey W. Williams, you mind if we get some voice acting on this? I'd be willing to make the jump and try to find some support/actors to get this rolling. Anyone else interested?" And of course, I did absolutely nothing after that point until about maybe a month or so later, when the final episode for the first season came out, and that's awesome. I got a message from Ben, or the Jam Jar, saying, "Hey, I'm kind of technical or savvy with all this sound working stuff," and I'm like, "Hey, I can organize things," and we're like, "Let's do this." And so we got together for a good solid 2 weeks and got everything organized and opened up auditions and brought on this wonderful cast and crew that you see here before you.
Yay!
And the rest is kind of history. It was all pretty much usual, just getting everything ready until we were about to release the first episode, when we all decided that we wanted to make a production company to kind of umbrella all the stuff that we wanted to do. And that's pretty much it.
And that's how a Crush Trio was made.
Exactly. Anything you want to add to that, Jim?
Nothing except that I should probably put it out here. When I did originally approach you saying that, yeah, I'm kind of technical, that was a total lie.
And same thing when I said I can organize stuff, that was a total lie too.
You can tell.
Hey, what better way to learn something than to throw yourself randomly at it?
Damn straight, and that's what I thought when I approached you. And, it's turned into something pretty damn good.
Hey, you are actually pretty darn good now. You've come a long way as far as your skill. The teaser that you made was awesome, and the last couple episodes, episode 3 was great.
Thank you. Now it will just take an age and a half for episode 4 to come out.
There we go. And quick little note, I saw down here in the chat, Dora said that we just got past 2,000 subs on the YouTube channel. So,
you know what this calls
Yay.
A party! A party!
Bar mitzvah, what?
Sweet rave party!
Yeah, so does that answer your question, Matt?
Yeah, it sure does. So you mentioned talking about doing auditions and stuff like that. How did you go about doing the auditions and recruiting all these wonderful voice actors?
Most organized through the PonyChan thread, wasn't it?
A little bit. No, well, actually, the big thing was our announcement board on the Google Docs. Because about that time, I was really getting into a lot of the fan fiction, and I saw that everything was getting hosted on Google Docs, and then I discovered it, and I just fell in love with it. So we hosted an announcement board, which, God, that thing's probably buried in some sort of archaeological dig site by now. But and we just kind of had all these announcements about all the stuff that we were doing and the auditions, and got some coverage on EQD. And the day that we got that post, I got, I don't know, something ridiculous, 25 emails with different auditions for people that were interested. And overall, I think we had maybe 86 auditions from 32 different people. So
144 actually.
What? Really?
Yeah.
And really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Goodness gracious.
Lucky for us, we just got to pick from we got to pick the best from the litter, and in some cases it was really easy. In some cases it was a little bit harder. We knew right away that Vicky and Hannah were probably the best for their roles, although we couldn't quite decide who we wanted to do which roles. But Vicky just had a wonderful Octavia audition, and Hannah had a wonderful Vinyl Scratch audition, and then of course Dora had another great voice. So when she kind of had brought in her audition, that kind of ruffled everything up a little bit. So, Jam Jar, what was the hardest voice that you had to cast? That you think?
God. I'm not sure. Oh God, I'm trying to remember back to the auditions now.
I think I remember you saying there were like 1 million Blue Blood editions.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
yes.
every single guy that auditioned for Blue Blood.
Yeah.
Except me. I didn't.
Except you. Everyone else did.
I didn't do it either, actually.
You only auditioned for narrator.
Yep.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Got straight up, so shush, you don't count.
No, yeah, Blue Blood was really hard because everybody's voice was pretty much the exact same. The only one that really stood out was Din's, and that was just because he kind of like, I don't know, he made it his own. Like, yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
hmm Yeah. And then we just had a couple of the more peripheral version voices, like when we brought on. What's the mobster's name?
Al Capone.
Al Capone. God, that was my favorite voice. Oh, I love Al Capone so much. Why am I not having in more stuff? But anyway, so yeah,
I'm working on it.
Good.
That's pretty much how the auditions went. It went really well. We started up a Skype chat, and then that's been like a whole nother thing, because while we got together at the beginning, I think one of the best things about this entire project is just the fact that I got to meet like all of you guys. And you guys are all like really like, I mean, I hope I'm not speaking only for myself when I say that you guys are now probably some of my best friends, like especially if you're online.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, I remember I started the Skype chat in the first place when we were all talking over email and trying to get organized together.
And then you foolishly gave me moderator rights.
Oh yes, that was
the editing of
worst
everyone's
idea.
posts.
I think I've got editing rights now, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I gave you some too.
But like our Skype chat has grown into be more than just TVST stuff. Like we're constantly posting stuff in there and being all kinds of silly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love you guys.
Because you know you're all my very best friends. Okay, as we completely derail this interview, feel free to take it back over.
All right. Going to the intro and the outro music for the show, was that completely custom made, or did you take that from somewhere else?
No, I took that from YouTube, more or less. it's all brand new music that was already posted up on YouTube. So everything that we use in the show is, except the one song that we specifically asked for, which was in the heartwarming episode. Yes, I asked the scriber to make a what's the name of the song? Christ, Winter Wrap Up. God, what is wrong with me?
So many
shame,
things,
Jam.
So many things.
Oh,
I've
shame.
got the tabs open, and I can give you the artists and the song names. So
The first one, the intro is Vinyl Scratch vs. Octavia by General Mumble, I believe.
Yes. And then the ending one, the one that I love, like for the credits, it's called Ever Free Compromise, and it's Pogo Sama. And you can find a link to his music on the actual videos themselves.
Didn't you guys spin that record at one point?
I don't think so. The heartwarming episode was really great because not only did we have that custom music, but then we also did like the caroling at the end.
Yes, and I also edited it in one day.
Yeah, I was gonna say you did an amazing job with that, Jamie. I was very impressed. I saw that for the first time when I was hanging out with my dad for Christmas, and then that's when I let him know about all the amazing stuff we've been doing, and he was very impressed. So.
And you said it was Tony.
No, it was. And I've been disowned ever since. No,
I just don't know what went wrong.
yeah, so I think that answers that question.
Okay, how about the artwork? Was that all custom made?
Yes, the artwork was custom made, wasn't it, Ink?
Yeah, I did the line art for that. And my best friend, Soda, he did the coloring for it. So it was a collaboration there.
Yeah, Ink's art has been, really key part of, a lot of the TVST stuff and Midnight Magic Productions.
Oh, I'm getting some blushy.
true, though.
Yeah.
It's become just an intrinsic part of what makes the vinyl scratch tapes the vinyl scratch tapes. Well, at least the master recordings, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then that, the actual, like, the actual image for the actual videos, with the vinyl scratch in Octavia and then the lightning striking the tower in the background, like, that's just, I mean, now it's kind of iconic. Like, you see that, like, that's the vinyl scratch tapes thing. And I'm actually planning on getting that made into a t-shirt, which I think some people are interested in.
Oh, my goodness. If you do, I need one.
Me too.
Yeah, but we'll deal with that later during the non-interview.
That picture always reminded me of, like, a Highlander, like it's the quickening.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, I feel sort
There
of
can
embarrassed.
be only one!
I must
I'm
admit,
sorry.
I feel rather embarrassed about that picture now, since it's actually rather bad, and I've gotten so much better over the time. It's really amazing to see how much better we've gotten over the time. I mean, all of us. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I maybe during season 2 you can make like a slicker season or tour version. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I definitely.
And then everybody
have to
will
do
like it at first, but then they'll start complaining about it and then talk about how the old one was so much better.
Oh God, the shame, the shame.
So yeah, I think that pretty much answers that question.
All right. The vinyl scratch tapes also uses an amazing amount of sound effects. Where do all those come from?
Basically my hard drive. More or less. Anything that I can't find, because I have little known fact, just because, you might not be able to tell, because the sound effects are so, well, in certain cases, terrible, I do have more or less a terabyte of sound effects on a terabyte drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Some
it's
nice
like,
little trivia for our fans out there.
yeah, I have a lot of sound effects. I think it's got like 460,000 sound effect files.
Wow.
Where did you get those?
Stealing them.
True.
Arr.
More or less. Yeah, the problem with that is, of course, finding them.
I remember you had some trouble tracking down the rotary phone one when like somebody threw the phone.
Yeah, it's actually really hard finding a good rotary phone sound effect. I wanted to.
I remember that. You asked me because I have this really, really old phone, where you have to just like turn the dial, and it takes 5 hours to call a simple 4-digit telephone number. And yeah, I remember you asked me to record some Foley for that. That was an interesting experience.
And I did use that sound.
Did you ask him to like throw it against a wall?
No.
No.
Lift it up and drop it.
I think I must have dropped it over 20 times to get a good sound effect out of it, since the stupid what's that thing? I can't speak today. So the receiver kept on clattering really, really loudly, and that little ring at the end didn't come out, so I had to do that over and over again. So it was cathartic, because I hate that phone.
I love phones like those. They're indestructible.
Me too. That's why I wrote it into the script. I didn't know it would be voice acted later and become a huge problem.
Well,
yeah, it didn't break, unfortunately.
I thought it was going to be okay doing it, because I thought I had one, but turns out I don't, which is kind of, yeah. That was kind of annoying. So I'm not sure how long that took me to eventually come crawling to, Ink, make me sound effects! Break your phone for me, the audio needs it.
I would be happy to break my phone any day for you, Jam.
Oh, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said.
Group hug.
Oh,
But
internet.
on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, most of the sound effects come from that terabyte drive, which is, I'm not sure how I ended up in possession of it, actually. I think it was like leftover sound effects from, because my dad worked for the Signal podcast, which is a Firefly and Serenity based podcast.
And really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wait, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh,
No one tells me anything.
it's because you're never on.
I don't talk about it because no one seems to know what it is.
Oh, I know what it is now.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's what you told me when you first approached me. You're like, yeah, my dad does this thing, and so I'm kind of familiar with some stuff. And I was like, what is this thing? And he's like, oh, it's this thing for Firefly. And by that point, I was like, oh, facepalm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that answers the question.
All right.
I think every single segment is going to end with me, saying, I think that answers the question.
that is now your quote. You must say it at the end of every sentence you ever say.
Yeah.
I am cursed.
Now till the end of time.
I'm cursed. I think that answers the question.
Yes, you need a shirt that says it.
Oh.
T-shirt.
Especially if it were to say, keep being awesome, followed by, I think that answers the question.
I think that answers the question. Okay. Actually, that is a pretty good idea.
To the internet.
Okay.
La-la-la-la-la.
So along with the sound effects, did one of you play the accordion for the parts that actually, required that, or was that a recording that you found on the internet?
Sadly, it is a recording I found on the internet. If I had an accordion, I would have played it. Honestly, I really would have. I would have learnt specifically just... Oh, no, that's crap. No, okay. I'm not sure how that's supposed to sound like an accordion at all, because that's just me making noises.
How long did it take you to find Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
Honestly, 3 YouTube videos.
Oh.
Well,
That's how long it took me.
hmm.
So, yeah. I would have played the accordion if I had an accordion, but all I have is a harmonica. Woe is me.
The Google Foo was strong with this one.
Yes. More or less. So yeah, that's all edited audio from YouTube videos. I do link the original YouTube links, at least in the SoundCloud versions. I'm not sure if the links are up in the YouTube videos.
Towards for the record the let me look here. Housewarming Day. No links to the not harmonica, the thing that we were just talking. An accordion.
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 Mm. Well, that's something to add at a later date.
Uh-huh. I kind of want to talk about the whole Hearts Day thing, because that was completely original for everybody here. Like, we all put that together.
No, we didn't. I wasn't there.
Well...
Yeah, you were off in,
Africa.
Yeah.
That's the
Zebra
one.
country.
Oh.
Zebra.
Yeah, he was fighting lions and saving babies and doing all sorts of awesome stuff.
Yes, that's exactly what I was doing.
Verbatim.
And
Verbatim. Sometimes he was saving babies from lions.
And sometimes was feeding the babies back to the lions to save them.
Getting milk and drinking school. I mean...
Oh, God.
Oh. I was so disappointed when I came back and I realized he did this awesome thing.
Oh, we missed you so much.
I was like, no! The Christmas spirit has run away.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that was an entirely cool thing, because we were all just kind of sitting around in the chat saying, like, hey, Christmas is coming up, we should do something. And then Corey I
think it started with you, me, and Din writing the opening, like, it was the night before Christmas, piss take.
Yeah, it started like that, and then Lauren wrote that carol, and then things just kind of progressed.
And then, of course, Corey comes in, and Corey has this knack of, like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. And then, like, he goes away for, like, a minute and comes back with, like, a page full of dialogue that is always impressive. Like, Corey he's like, I'm just going to step away for a second and write this thing that'll come back and blow your minds. And then so he came back and completely just blew the stuff that we'd come up just away. And then then that's how the heartwarming thing was born. Like, the dialogue was so good, we're like, we have to do this. And so over the span of like a couple weeks, we put it all together, and then of course Jamie like released it on Christmas night, and it was great.
He edited it all in one day.
I only ended up getting the last bit of recording for the singing, which, because we all because I got you all to, I got Hannah and Vicky to record because the script was out, a few weeks before Christmas, a week or two before Christmas, and both of you got that done really quickly. Really quickly.
Like, he was doing that, wasn't it like today or yesterday or something, when he was, what was it that we were doing? He like steps away and it's like, oh, here's some dialogue, and then everybody's all like, oh, it was for that thing, that's right. Yeah, the thing that we can't quite talk about quite yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then all the dialogue got done, and I saw
exactly.
Sound effects, and I'm like, this needs a little bit more. Hey guys, how'd you feel about doing some singing?
Oh, that was a thing in and of itself.
I'm glad I wasn't involved in that.
Jam, you tried to convince me, like, over the course of a day to get me involved and sing on it, and at first I told you flat out no, and I don't know how you eventually convinced me to do it. You used, like, your magic British elf powers.
Jam Jar, what do your British eyes see? I totally just heard this on
Sing Christmas Carol.
The extra singing is still one of my favorite things I've ever recorded, like ever.
I'm so glad I asked you to do that. It came out so brilliantly.
I know, that was my favorite part, and that was the one part I didn't write.
I'm like, could you, like, sing along and, like, be bad? That'd be brilliant!
I remember I asked you, I was like, do you want Hannah singing or Vinyl singing? Because they're very different.
Vinyl. Don't get us wrong, Hannah. You're cool and all, but Vinyl's so much cooler.
Yeah, I will totally agree with that.
In before 20% cooler joke.
Well, now that you said it, that's all I can think about. So thanks, Q-Com.
In before it doesn't come.
Anyway, so I think that answers that.
I think it should be. I think it should be mentioned, since we're still talking about the heartwarming thing, that Jam stayed up like all day and for several hours, like on Christmas Eve, doing nothing but editing the heartwarming Eve thing.
He was getting like whipped by Santa Claus. Like, make the thing, ho 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 ho.
Mush!
Robot Santa, the future.
Yes.
Oh yeah, from Futurama. Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
I think I ended up going to bed that night. I think it ended up being uploaded at like...
Well, it was uploaded in the evening over here, so that had to be like the next day over there.
It was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I am going to get this released on Christmas Day!
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine, it's 4 hours into Christmas Day over here, but I don't care!
It's good enough. I don't even think Santa Claus was back in his place by then, so...
You woke up in the morning and you asked like the boy, I said, boy, what day is today? Why, it's Christmas Day. There's still time.
There's still time. Oh, that's great.
They did it all in one night.
The magic of friendship.
Oh.
A jammy Christmas carol.
Oh, that's so adorable.
I'm dropping stuff.
That's actually kind of adorable, too. It's Adora.
Oh!
It's funny because it's Dora.
Yep.
What was the original question?
I think we started talking
that
about
got
sound
lost in
effects,
translation.
but we got on a tangent talking about the heartwarming thing because
That
it's
happens quite a lot.
so. Feel free to ask more questions.
Right. Okay. So, you guys have a thing with Celestia Radio as well. You pretty much premiere all your episodes on Celestia Radio, right?
Oh yeah.
So, QCOM, could you tell us a little bit about Celestia Radio?
And this is why you're here.
Oh, you mean I actually have a purpose? Oh my god. Yes. Celestia Radio used to be headed by Karai, and what we do is we mostly play 24/7 pony music. We have DJs like myself that come on and do requests that our chat asks for, and sometimes we do call-ins and have topics. Usually, like when an episode airs, we usually have a topic to ask about and say silly questions and whatnot. And we have interviews like with VST here and with Jam's other thing that he's a part of, the Doctor Who's Adventures.
I think he was asking about the relationship between Celestia Radio and the vinyl scratch tapes.
Yeah, but what we do is we mostly, every time they have a new episode come out, we stream it on our servers for everyone to listen to.
I might have a little bit to add. I think the relationship between the vinyl scratch tapes and Celestia Radio, and that started a long time ago, ever since, like, I remember there was just one day that Jamie and I were just flipping out because DJ Shamrock was, like, talking about it on Celestia Radio, and we're like, oh my god, because this is back when we were just getting started, and nothing big was going on. And so I started talking to Shammy and in Skype, and he's like, "Wait, you're from Lawrence, Kansas? I'm like a couple hours away from you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, QCOM's like right by you too." And so we realized that we were all really close together. And ever since then,
we've only actually been with you like once.
Yeah, but yeah, so we've always had a really close relationship with Celestia Radio. I think a large part due to QCOM and DJ Shamrock. They've always been really welcoming to us and the things that we do, and whenever we're doing something new, they're like the first people that say, "Hey, you want to come on and talk about it?" So it's a great radio station too. All the best pony music, 24/7. So you should listen
all
to
day,
it.
every day.
And also, I might add, being able to join you guys has gotten some great resources for all sorts of projects.
Mm-hmm. We're glad you could use us, QCOM.
So, believe me, you will be used.
Yeah.
So, speaking of premiering episodes,
that's like your
episode 3 is going to be on Celestia Radio then as well, right? Or, episode 4? When it comes
yes. I think.
Episode 4, when I eventually fucking finish it, yes, will eventually be premiered on Celestia Radio.
It'll come out before. It won't take as long as Duke Nukem Forever. We promise.
Or Half-Life 3.
Great things take time.
That's true. I'm glad to see that Jam's putting a lot of effort into it, and actually that we've all put so much effort into it. Because I'd much rather have it take a while and it to come out, at or better than what our fans expect, than to try to rush it out and end up making like an inferior quality product. So
yeah, and Jam has done a fantastic job editing all the episodes up until this point. He really has. I don't think the tapes would be as good without him.
Oh no, I would like you saw the audio on the teaser video that I made and how horrible that was. So yeah, we would be nowhere where we need to be if it wasn't for Jamie.
Well, I guess it's good that I turned out okay then.
Pretty good. You're
I think the only thing that kept us going was your Tales of a Drunken Jam Jar time.
Oh, yes!
Yes, so many memories.
Speaking of which, there might be another one of those tomorrow.
Oh, count me in.
Although it might not be so much tales of a drunken jam jar, such as gamings of a drunken jam jar.
Ah!
Oh.
Because my brother may have bought Amnesia.
Oh my god, that's the best thing ever.
Oh,
I
you
just
must stream it. You must
I'm
stream
so-
playing that.
I'm so sad because I won't be in the house tomorrow, so that I probably won't be able to see it.
Oh no. Well, it will be streamed, which means it will be recorded.
Yay.
I will be there for this. Wait, maybe. I might be at another thing. We'll figure this out.
Let me get this straight. We're gonna have a drunken Dr. Jamjar
Plays
playing Amnesia.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
We need to post this on the blog. I'm gonna put up a post. I'm gonna put up a post later on tonight, announcing the end of the contest, and we'll throw in some announcements about that and stuff like that. So, t-shirt contest officially over. We got enough entries to make it a pretty good solid competition, and we've gotten some pretty good designs. So I'm gonna post those up later on this evening.
Yeah, you'll have to show us.
Does this mean that we get free shirts?
You guys won't, but the people who entered them, the winners will.
That is so unfair.
It's unfair.
Well, but you didn't enter any designs.
Any staff is not allowed to enter contests.
Wait, you didn't know? I announced it like a million times, and it was on our blog.
But
I wrote every...
What about the announcement video? The entire video, but never mind.
Have you even seen the announcement video, Inc?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god!
Okay, sorry, a small little pause here in the interview, so I can. I'm grabbing the.
I must admit, I've been sort of AWOL for the past couple of weeks.
I know, it's made me so sad.
Yeah, Din disappeared for like a month, and we didn't know what happened to him.
And I was freaking out because
Dear God, there was so much panic. It was terrifying. Never leave us again, Din.
He disappeared into like the Phantom Zone.
Jamjar was off the chat for like a good 7 days in that panic.
Yeah.
I missed
it. I really had like a complete meltdown when you were gone, Din. Like everybody can substantiate. I was like freaking out in chat, going like, "Where the fuck is he? I need to get him."
And then I sent. What was it that tipped you off, Din? Was it the email I sent, or?
No, it's less that I just wasn't on. It's more a case of I had so many things I needed to do that I knew the internet was going to keep distracting me, so I kind of did a force quit for a few days.
That's good of you, I guess. But Ink, down in the chat below, there's.
I opened the link. I'll look at this.
Sorry for totally running over your interview, Lightning.
It's okay.
Oh God, yes.
I actually
going
want
on?
to ask you about the whole contest anyway, because auditions will start after you pick the winners, right?
Yeah. So that's another thing. Oh man, now I have to do that. Yeah, pretty much. The competition's over. And I'm gonna announce the. I'm going to announce the winners tonight, and then also it's going to take me maybe a couple days to get the audition all set up, but I'm going to start opening it up. First, I need to. Well, here I'll save all this for the interview when we get back into it, and I'll tell you all those things. So, unless that was the interview.
Yeah. I mean, like you can go ahead and say what you want to, right?
Okay, well, pretty much what's going on with the Vinyl Scratch Tapes Season 2 is, as was noted in the announcement video, was that once I got done with the contest, I would announce the winners, and then I would now be free to start doing all the organizational stuff for auditions for Season 2. And for those who weren't around for the auditions the first time around, it's pretty much going to be the exact same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to pull together specific lines that we think really represent the characters and their voices from the Season 2. And we're going to compile all those, put them all together, and then we're going to have people who are auditioning read the lines for the characters that they're interested in. There are a couple different ways that we're approaching this, like we did last time around, is that, we want to be as fair to everybody else as possible, and we want this, project to continue being its best. And so part of that is trying to unbiasedly find the best actors and actresses for all the different roles. No roles are going to be handed out. You have every role is going to be auditioned for. That's pretty much it. We're going to have all the announcements will be on our blog, midnightmagicproductions.blogspot.com. All the information will be there shortly.
All right, that sounds good. I wanted to move over to the voice actors and ask each of you individually how you got involved with this project. So, let's start with Hannah.
Okay, well, I've always been a fan of acting. I'm an actress technically. I've been acting since I was 8, but mostly on stage. And my friends know just how much I love cartoons and I love acting. So they saw the announcement up for the vinyl scratch tapes and sent it to me. And I got really excited about it because one of my big dreams is to be in an animated something, whether it's a movie or an anime or a TV show, whatever. So I decided to audition, and and I got cast incredibly. So yeah, that's basically it.
All right. How about you, Wolfie?
Oh, call me Vicky, please.
Vicky. Okay.
My sandwich is staring at me. But I shall ignore it for you. What was the question? I'm sorry.
How did you get involved with the project in the first place?
Well, it was like a year ago, and I really wanted to do something with, because I kept seeing things on Equestria Daily that had to do with voice acting, and like auditions and things like that. And I kept, I'd hear them, I get really excited, and I'd click on it to listen to how good it was, and I'm like, disappointed by a lot of the not good voice acting out there. Like, it was okay, it was passable, but I was like, I could do better than that. Maybe. I don't know. I suck. And I was like, I'd go between really wanting to do it, really not wanting to do it, and then I realized, I was like, well, these people who do, there's some really, really, really good people who do canon voices, and I don't think I can do a good canon voice. So, maybe if there was a character that didn't have a voice already, like Derpy, for example, with Bald Dumbo Rat. Everyone likes her. Okay, now what? And then I, waited around and, saw the announcement on the Nightly Roundup, and I was like, oh my gosh, those characters don't have voices. Let me try that. So, that's basically what happened. And then I found out I actually can do pretty decent canon voices for a couple characters, but that came, later.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that about answers that question, or whatever the
how about you, Dora?
Oh, God, okay. I have to find a way to tell this in an entertaining fashion. I hadn't actually really done voice acting before this project. It's the first thing that I auditioned for that actually got off the ground. And I can't remember if I found it myself in the roundup or if my friends sent it to me. I don't know, but I saw it on Equestria Daily. And I was really, 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 really anticipating this audition for some reason. I really, 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 really wanted to be vinyl. And, looking back, my vinyl audition was really bad, and Hannah's a far better vinyl than I could ever be.
Oh, hush.
Don't sell yourself short. You're amazing.
Yes, you are.
Not
look,
as
look
vinyl.
Where you are now.
Oh, my God.
Look where you are now, Dora.
And the vinyl voice was pretty much the Lyra voice I'm using now. So, now vinyl isn't Lyra.
Lyra?
Everything happens.
Lyra.
What?
Lyra? That sounds like a bad villain name for a really weird Japanese RPG.
Sounds like a dominatrix name.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna go there?
I like
skateboard is
Lyra.
Tony.
The funny thing is talking about all these auditions, I actually still have all of the auditions that
So do I.
all happened from way back then.
Why?
Lol.
Blackmail. Blackmail is clearly
Yeah,
the
blackmail.
Oh god.
So yeah,
Doggone.
looking back, man, we had a ton of auditions. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen, you weren't kidding.
We completely derailed Dora, though. Please continue.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
I was basically done. I just wanted to interject and say that when I saw my name on the cast list, it was pretty much the best day of my life. I love you guys.
Oh.
Aw, we love you
We
too.
love you.
And to say that I think still my favorite episode of the Vinyl Scratch Tapes was the one with Spitfire, and Dora, you did an amazing job on that one.
I really want to redo it, though, because my Spitfire voice has gotten so much better.
Mm-hmm.
We can always
I
remaster
want
them.
to wait for Lyra.
Wait
Every time
until I ask you
you do that Lyra voice, Dora, I crack up the first word you say.
Yay, I'm
It's
funny.
so hilarious.
That laugh for me.
Yeah, it's the laugh.
Is
I
the
agree.
greatest.
I know.
I think that answers that question.
All right. How about you, Din?
As for me, I've actually done a bit of voice acting for a few years now. I work at Radio Disney, so
Wow.
that's fun. So if you turn it on, you might hear me within like 5 minutes because I do a lot of commercials. But other than that, it's after I got that job. I originally just wanted to be an actor, but after I got that job, I was kind of like, hey, this is fun. I can do this. And so I started. I bought a microphone, started doing stuff online, and then I got into ponies, and then I found projects that involved ponies and voice acting. And it was like, all right, I have found a niche. And then I found this project, and boom, instant punchability.
And then he
That's
just
what we are.
What does that mean?
Shut up, blood.
Oh, right.
And how about you, Ink?
My story is actually pretty similar to Dora's, actually. Sorry, got something in my throat. I have got absolutely no experience in acting whatsoever. But back then, I was sort of like really, really wanting to get into the entire pony project things because I wanted to be creative. I didn't want to continue playing games all the time. So actually, I think I was the only one who got the PonyChan post without going over Equestria Daily. So I found that there because I was like surfing through projects, seeing what my incredibly bad skills could possibly apply for. And I saw this amazing project, and I was a huge fan of the Vinyl Scratch Tapes, because I was reading them as they came out, and they were just fantastic pieces of writing, especially for fanfic quality. It's just amazing. And, so I thought, hey, why the hell not? Probably won't get the part, so what the hey? I decided to apply. And, since I do have a sort of mildly posh voice, I decided that why not Frederic? Since that was the basic, because in the Google Docs, when it was describing what the voices should be like, there was Frederic, English, posh, and I was like, yes, I can do this. I can do the poshiest. So I sent in my audition. I did absolutely not believe for a single minute that I would get it, since I am not a voice actor and I've got no experience in acting whatsoever. So imagine my surprise when one day it was like, congratulations, you are Frederic. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. It was absolutely fantastic. I hit the roof. It was the best day of my life.
Yours was probably
Really?
the easiest. Yeah, you were just head and shoulders above everybody else.
Ink, you want to know why? You want to know why you were picked out of so many? Because you naturally say Walt and not what. That's why.
What?
No, yeah, you were head and shoulders above every other Frederic audition. It was pretty easy. Yours was one of the easier ones.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just great, because I always wanted to get into this sort of like communal project stuff. I just love working with people. It just makes so much fun. And voice acting is surprisingly enjoyable. It just feels so nice to get into character and so forth. So yeah, I'm really glad you accepted me, everybody, because this has been a blast. And getting to know all you guys and making so many amazing friends has been amazing. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
It's been an epic ride.
I agree.
We'll continue on.
And
so I believe that answers that question.
QCOM, you had a line in the Final Scratch Tips as well, right?
Yes. I only mostly play background characters, or if they need some lowly extra.
So did you get cast for those, or did they just kind of ask you, hey, we need you to do some stuff?
I think QCOM's role was the only one that we didn't have audition for, and I think that was just because we forgot to have an audition for a certain role, and then it was getting time that we need to record stuff, and then I was pretty good friends with QCOM and Shamrock, and I was like, hey QCOM, you want to do this thing? And then he did the thing. So
we also forgot to audition for the Cutie Mark Crusade as well. We held auditions for them, but only Dora sent in an audition.
I was the only one? Are you serious?
I think so, yeah.
No, I did an audition for Scootaloo.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And you didn't take me.
I've got the proof right here.
Okay.
Vicky, would you rather have been Scootaloo?
Oh, boy.
No, I'm just saying I did it.
It's just the way you said that. I was like, wait.
No, that is right. No, I think we had 0 auditions for Sweetie Belle, I think.
I don't think anyone can get that squeaky, though, unless you're actually a child.
Yeah, that's why
I got my sister to do it in the actual thing.
I tried.
What are they gonna do when what's her name, grows up and her voice is not that high anymore?
Obviously, she'll get her Cutie Mark.
They'll probably digitally edit it, I'm sure.
Yeah, they can pitch it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did with
Diamond Tiara's
Maniacs.
voice. Makes me angry.
Maybe she'll grow up in the show.
Or she'll get replaced.
That's the sad thing we were all thinking, but nobody wanted to say.
That would be cold. Well, happy 13th birthday. Get out.
To the glue factory.
I've got a story I can tell after the interview about something like that. Not to me, but something I watched.
Aw.
All right. Now, for most of for the very first Vinyl Scratch tape, when it went into the credits and it was talking about who did the editing, the producing, and the writing, it was the Emerald Page and the Jam Jar. But going into episode 2 and 3, Vicky was added to that. So, Vicky, what did you do for the producing, editing, and writing?
I ended up being the surrogate organizer for the group whenever Reed isn't around, which happens to be quite a bit. So whenever we needed to set up not auditions, but rehearsals or practices or get people find out what people are doing, it's I just did it anyway because I was frustrated and curious and just what's going on? I need to know. And so I do these things naturally. And then Reed was like, hey, you're actually doing work above and beyond what we asked you to. You want to become part of the Midnight Magic Productions crew? And I'm like, heck yes. Because,
that was a great moment when we made you a producer. I mean, and also I think another big influence is also Vicky is probably one of the, she has her moments of being the most mature person, here sometimes Dan and I will get, really excited about something. Vicky will be like, you guys are idiots.
Mature?
So yeah, I mean.
Yes. No, remember when we first saw pictures of Princess Cadence and Reese was like, it's going to be terrible. They're doing a wedding. Oh, and I'm like, come on, guys, have faith in Studio B. It's not going to be what you think it is.
Seriously, calm down. Vicky has been a really good balance for everything. So, Yeah, she's been essential in the success of the organization for the vinyl scratch tapes. I think also we brought on Ink as well to be like an official part of Midnight Magic Productions as the official artist. Yeah.
And you told me to draw a logo, and I started doing that, and then I forgot.
I thought that you finished it. Like, you still have the art. It still looks great.
Yeah, but it's really I'm going to have to rehash that. I really am. That was actually just they were all concept sketches, and then I completely forgot that they were just concept sketches, and I didn't finish for some reason.
Finish it whilst you're not doing comics.
But not to derail from bringing on Vicky. Yeah, she's been great, both on and off the show. Yeah.
All right. A couple weeks ago, you guys put out a video called the Metamorphosis. And I would like to hear how that came about.
Oh God.
Okay, so I am the admin for a Facebook meetup group in Central Florida, and we were gonna have a huge party like back at the beginning of May, and this was like, months in planning, and it was gonna be huge. We were gonna have like upwards of 100 people, and I was like, so it's kind of like a mini convention, is it? I really want to meet Hannah. I wonder if I could con some of my group members into paying for her plane ticket. And I did! And
They raised up more than enough money to get me there. It was incredible.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Oh, it really is true. Brodies have more money than they know what to do with. So, we managed to get her flown down. And the meetup was like for one day. So, and Hannah was going to be there from Friday evening through Monday evening. So, Saturday was taken up with that. Then Sunday we went to Disney World because she's always wanted to go to Disney World. And we had like all day Monday to figure out what we wanted to do. And this is before it happened. Like, this is like Friday evening or whatever. And was it Friday evening? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was. It was when we were relaxing after you got me back from the airport.
Yeah, and we're like, hey guys, guess what? Hannah's here. And we're like, yay! So, what's going on? I know! Let's do a video with us as Vinyl and Octavia. Let's dress up like the characters because we have our cosplays here. And then Corey's like, I'll write the script. And so he wrote a script, and we're like, yay!
In like an hour, I wrote it, and you guys just went with it.
It was hilarious, too.
So, basically, Monday, we're just like, alright, our cosplays look like crap because we wore them all day on Saturday. It's perfect. Let's put them on. And then we just did it in, like, the living room in about 45 minutes, I think. I kept screwing up. It would have been fast. If I actually could.
It was funny.
I wish I could memorize dialogue, and I can't. I can't memorize dialogue. It's why I like voice acting. I don't have to memorize anything.
Yeah, but then, like, they put the video files on a disc, and I took them home, and then I edited it and put it together and put it up when I got back home.
I think it's hilarious, the mixed, like, reception it's gotten.
Yeah.
Some people are like, this is great, and other people are like, I don't get it. You guys should go back to doing what you were doing before. And we're like, oh, come on. We're not doing videos for good. This is just us being ridiculous.
This is just us celebrating getting to, like, Vinyl and Octavia in the same way.
I mean, we didn't have to record it. We could have just done it on our own, but we wanted to share what we did.
Right.
And for what it's worth, I nearly pissed myself laughing.
For the record, though, Vicky, the scream that you did in that terrified me.
It was
that was such a sincere scream.
That's what
that was a really terrible.
That was a scary scream.
I do a
the
thing.
cops are called.
I do a panel for like the conventions down here with Anime Bell, who is a convention guest, and she does this Japanese fairy tale theater thing. And one of the plays that she does is the Dish Mansion at Bansho, where I play the ghost Okiku, who counts. He basically was killed over a plate. Like, it's, just whatever. It's a stupid plot, but what the really cool part is, I come out as a ghost, and counts 1 to 9, and then on 10 I scream, and every single time I do it, I make the front row of the audience just piss their pants. Like everybody's like,
I believe you.
and then they I walk off, and it's so much fun. I love screaming. It's one of my many talents.
It was so perfect because, you know, I was watching and I'm like, this is exactly how I would think Octavia and Vinyl would, like, treat this situation. Octavia would be freaking out and Vinyl would be like, cool.
But she's not sure if she's still tripping on glow stick fluid.
My favorite thing is
Glow stick fluid.
Oh man, I should have done that joke.
People ask me why she was so, like, mellow and why she wasn't being crazy, and I was like, she's kind of hungover a little bit.
Because glowing.
Because glowing. Yeah, I wanted to play her a little more toned down because she was still kind of buzzed from the night before. So yeah, it was just fun to do. I had a blast that day, and I died putting it together. It was so much fun, especially doing the squee bleeps.
That was my idea, because you left it in.
Yeah, I left it in at first.
And I'm like, censor it.
You know what would be amazing? If you could all of us get together and do something like that as a special.
Oh my god, that would be insane.
Yes. Yeah, we need to sell T-shirts so that we can raise plane ticket money for the people in Europe.
You mean a video?
Yes.
Honest to God, oh my. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All of us.
We could set it up, like, have ink draw, like, a small little bit of animation, like somebody's, like, they have the telethon things. We've got people in the background answering phones, and then it could be like the jam jar up front, you know, kind of looking like the Doctor, and it'd be like, we need your support. You know, we've got people standing by.
We are much better than PBS. We're the vinyl scratch tapes.
And then we'll play, like, bits and pieces of the vinyl scratch tapes, or Derman
Dermer?
But yes, we have to do this. It would be simply fantastic.
Who would I even be? I'm so many people.
Should do vinyl scratch.
You'd be all of the people, Dora.
All of them.
You would be Lyra, and you'd be just tripping out, going, "Oh my God, so many humans!"
I'm a human. Oh my God!
You just keep on running across the screen, just abandon it.
I have hands. It's glorious.
Yep. I think I'm the only person in an entire group other than Corey that doesn't, like, do any acting or anything.
That needs
We'd be the only humans there amongst.
You don't even have a pony Sona. You can't even.
I don't even have an OC. That's why I use my IRL stuff with the announcement video.
So I believe that answers that question.
Oh,
this is my line.
You're not allowed to say that.
I think
All right.
answers that.
So, is Midnight Magic Productions going to be appearing at any conventions this year?
The only answer to that is maybe. We had originally arranged a panel with EquestriaCon or something in Austin, Texas, but they just partnered up with some other thing. Brony Fanfare, right? And so their dates moved around, and I don't know if that's quite conducive. Like it's in September now, right?
Yeah. September 9th and 10th.
Yeah. Two of the representatives at the last convention I went to of Brony Fanfare, because the deal was that EquestriaCon merged with Brony Fanfare, and so like the guest lists got, I wouldn't say scrapped, but yeah, it just kind of got mixed around. But while I was at the last convention, ACON here, I talked to two of the representatives about us. I was bugging everyone about getting us in there, and I finally got an email back. Like, we can't have a panel. We can't be guests, but we can apply for a panel.
Yeah. Yeah, so we may or may not end up deciding to do that based on other stuff. I mean, I know some people have school starting around before that time, but
School.
no.
Priorities.
But we all want to get together and go to a con or something at some point in the future. So
The
Come
most,
to Orlando. We can all go to Disney World.
the most that
Vinyl Scratch Tapes takes Disney World.
So-
Good God.
to answer the
the most-
question,
sorry.
maybe on the books for now, but we definitely in the far future we are going to do something at some point. So.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, the most that we're going to get for the near future is I'm going to sort of try to be, and possibly Sham too. I'm going to try to be a representative at BronyCon for everything.
I could try and talk to Perry, who's like a representative of Canterlot Gardens, if you wanted to participate there.
Wait, well, here we can work a lot of this stuff out after.
Yeah, after the
So I think that answers that question.
All right.
Yes.
When you guys
Nothing. Dead silence.
when you guys do the recording for the show, do you all record separately or do you play off each other for each episode?
Well, Hannah and I record together.
Yes. Always.
Like, basically we put Skype on and then we turn on Audacity on our, or I turn on Audacity on my computer. She's got her Mac program.
GarageBand, yay!
Yeah, and that doesn't do WAV document files.
I'm a Mac person. Leave me alone.
Actually, I think
And,
it does. You just have to work with the settings.
And so, yeah, we basically go through every script together like that, and we have our own recordings, which means that the other person isn't on the recording, and we clean them up, and then we send them to Jam, and he pieces the good takes for every line together, and manages to make it sound like we recorded it together with Skype recorder. It's amazing.
Wow, that's kind of unique. I don't think I've heard of any other projects doing that.
Yeah, from the beginning, we knew that it was going to be important that the both of us record together because our characters, relationship matters so much, you know? So from the beginning, we knew we were going to have to do that. And I love doing that. It's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing.
I was inspired by what they do for, Friendship is Magic and several other shows where they have all the voice actors together in one room recording everything together. I was under the impression everybody recorded their lines separately because that's what we see in movies. But apparently television shows, I guess it's easier to just get everybody together once a week to record, all day.
It's much more budget friendly.
Yeah, and so I was like, hey, Hannah, let's record our stuff together. Actually, we were like, hey, let's get on Skype and chat when we first met each other. And then we're like, hey, we need to record together. And I don't, that's probably my favorite part about the entire process is just sitting with her. Well, I mean, sitting with her, digitally.
Via the internet.
Via the internet. Like, I sit in my closet, which is soundproof, on the floor with my, microphone and headphones on. And she goes into her little soundproof area.
Closet,
yeah. And so, it's like closet time with Hannah. I like it.
So much. And okay, I have to bring back this story because it was one of my favorite things ever. It was really shortly after, it was the first Skype call that all of us did, and we ran through episode 4, all of us.
That was a disaster, and it was beautiful.
It was
fantastic.
Freaking funny. It was. From the moment that happened, I knew I was gonna love this cast and this crew, and it was the greatest thing. I cried laughing when we were
From the second Din did his blue blood voice.
Yes. Oh God.
Do it for us now, Din.
Do it.
Oh, do I have to? I'd rather not.
There we go. Punchability.
Oh man.
things I do for you plebeians.
I don't think I was there for that. Did you guys record that? Because
You weren't part of the group yet. You were not part of the group. You were invited about a month and a half or so into the whole, like, after we started all talking together.
Shameful, the writer of TVST not
Well,
invited.
So the thing is that we're all, at that point, we're all like, oh my god, it's Corey W. Williams. Oh my god! Because at that point, we're all just sort of a fan work based on his thing.
Oh,
like a collaboration. Yeah, exactly. When he came out at the first moment, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, I love you so much, oh my god, your writing is so great. And then after a while, we're like, oh, you're just a normal person. Cool. Hey, I have this idea. And he goes, okay, I'll write it.
Back 5 minutes later, boom, dialogue.
But yeah, we did actually have that recorded, only for some reason somebody lost the second half, especially the bit with me in it.
Yeah, that thing died. I remember.
That was rather annoying.
I recorded
when I came in
pieces of it.
too. Oh.
I tried
we need
to
to...
pieces of it, but yeah.
And Reed wasn't there either. It was like...
I was working.
Yeah, it was Jam, Ink, Hannah, Din, Dora. I think Sham was there for a little bit, maybe. No, he wasn't.
No, that's right.
We had a few of the other, like, random people who've never been in the group chat ever, except for that beginning. Like who, you know, the Diamond Dog voice and the whatever. That was it.
Which I provided a bit of that. Does that? Yeah.
We get people for season 2, and we need to just do a table read of like all the episodes before we actually record them. It'd be hilarious.
Yes. Agreed.
Yes, this has to happen.
Oh yeah, and Lauren wasn't there, but that's because Lauren's not in episode 4.
But she's gone on to do some really impressive stuff too.
Mhm.
Lauren's going to do fucking everything.
Yeah.
I might get to meet her next May, like in person.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Sweet.
Wow.
I am jelly.
Because
Know your jam.
Jam.
Know your jam.
Jam straight.
Oh no.
she might be going to a mutual friend's convention that she's running. I mentioned her before, Anime Bell. She's going to be doing her own convention in Jacksonville, and she and Lauren actually knew each other before Ponies, which is weird. And because Lauren apparently knows something about ball joint dolls, she's going to go as a judge, possibly, like, if they can work out the details. But they really want to, like, do this, so I'm like, yay! I'm a weird conduit between people who know each other but lost contact.
Hooray!
Yay!
Hooray! Yay!
Now, as a group,
That answers that question.
as a group, you guys tend to do a lot of other things together other than just the vinyl scratch tapes. I've heard about a Ask Dirty Diamond Tiara Tumblr. How did that get started?
My idea.
Yeah, it started because I think we started talking about Ask a Pony Tumblr's, Vic, and then at some point you just said, like, you came up with this idea.
It started because what I wanted to do was something where I could voice Diamond Tiara, because nobody wants Diamond Tiara in their project because everyone hates her. And I was like, I don't like her much either, but I can do the voice well enough. I was like, I need to do this voice. It's really frustrating me. I have a talent. I want to use it. And
didn't it start like when
I
you
was
did
like,
the Diamond Tiara thing for QCOM?
Well, no, that was months before. I did that once, and I was like, this is great. I want to do more. So,
yeah, that was a one-off thing. That was just something I thought up on a whim and just played
I
it.
wanted to do was, I was like, well, nobody likes her. Maybe I could do like some sort of Ask Tumblr where she's like in the future and she's been disowned by her family or had to leave Ponyville and she's become a whore, and it's really just, you know,
Comeuppance time.
A really terrible future for a terrible person.
Yeah, like the sort of thing you're like, yes, when you see it happening. But because she's the way she is, she doesn't understand that where she is in life, everyone's laughing at her. She still thinks she's better than everyone. So I wanted to do this, and I'm like, I can't draw, and I suck at dialogue. Oh, I have a group of people I can ask. And so I asked Ink because I knew he could, do really amazing art. And like, you want to draw me? And he's like, heck yes, I do. And then,
yeah, the idea was just fantastic. I just loved it because it's just so cathartic to see Diamond Tiara in that way.
And then we asked Corey because Ink was having a little trouble trying to think about how to do the dialogue because I wasn't going to do it myself. And Corey's like, okay, and he writes this amazing bit of introduction. I'm like, this is incredible. Oh, this is
incredible.
And then snowballed from there. I'm like, well, we need to edit this to some, images because doing it two different things with the audio, like the audio link with the picture is kind of confusing. And so, like, who can do video editing? And Din's like, I can do some audio video, or no, we need to do some audio editing. Din's like, I can do that. And then we need to do some video stuff. And then, isn't it Scriber that does that, or is it still Din? Scriber.
No, Din did everything.
Scriber did the video.
Oh yeah, Scriber did the actual video editing, I remember. Oh yeah.
So,
for that one episode.
Yeah.
When we need voices for things, we're like, well, if we want to do Trixie, for example, because Corey loves writing for Trixie, we're like, we can ask her. We haven't had her in yet, but we will in the future if we ever get around to it. And,
Dora and Lauren both play good Trixies.
We asked Hannah to do Silver Spoon for one that's coming out sometime in the future.
When I finally get around to it, yeah.
My fiancé can do Iron Will, so we had him do the voice, and then, because he was dying to do some voice acting, and I'm like, here, have this. And, yeah, it's just kind of like, hey, we need a thing. You can do the thing. You want to do it? And they go, okay.
Yeah, and it snowballed really well. I've always wanted to do something comic arty where I consistently draw the same sort of character in order to improve my art in that way. And this was a fantastic thing because especially when other people rely on me, I tend to draw more consistently. So that worked definitely out pretty well.
So we're relying on you, Ink.
Yeah, I know. I was busy doing the random comics that Jammy keeps on thrusting at me.
Dan, stop that. Stop that, or I'm going to go to England and I'm going to pour your beer on the ground.
Oh, that's it. I poured it on the ground. I apologize.
You're not.
Yeah, I should actually have an update to the Tumblr at least in 2 days, so that should be okay. And then I'm going to do the
Sophisto really is wanting more.
Oh yeah, he does. That made my day when he plugged that. That was fantastic.
That blew my mind that he actually read that.
It was great. See, and I'm definitely going to start doing the motion comic. Oh my god, that was the most difficult thing I've ever done art-wise. Yeah, the last kind of video that we did, Vic, remember that one?
Yeah, it was amazing too. You did a great job.
Oh god,
you really did.
It took me like 2 days of just straight up drawing all those panels. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm going to do another one of those for which will introduce Silver Spoon and get that plot arc going finally, which I hope to get in at least another week. If I knuckle down and start doing the art for that. So yeah, that's the Ask Dirty Diamond Tiara Tumblr. It's amazing. You should check it. You should check it out.
Okay.
Shameless plug.
Mm-hmm. If you're interested in reading it, it's at askdirtydiamond.tumblr.com. Ding!
So
the ding is optional.
By the way, it's PG-13. We decided to go with suggestive humor rather than full-on
full-on pony porn.
Wayans Brothers humor. Yeah, no.
No, we're not doing that.
It's clever. It's not dirty. Well, I mean, it's dirty, but it's not dirty.
So, could you tell me about partnering with Welcome to Ponyville as well?
Jam, do you want to answer that, or should I?
You probably should, because
it's your fault.
It is my fault.
It is your fault. It is completely your fault.
You got us roped into this.
And now Writer's Block won't talk to me. It makes me sad. Pouting.
Okay. So I got scouted for this video game, and he's like, hey, you want to be Lyra? And I'm like, sure, I want to be Lyra. And so that happened, and he's like, okay, I'm looking for voice actors. You wouldn't happen to know anybody, would you? And I'm like, so wait, you need a Vinyl and Octavia?
Not
Do you
really.
mind if I bring my entire team in here? And I just, and now, like, pretty much almost all of our cast is shared now.
Yep.
And that just happened. Jam?
I got nothing to say.
Apparently, you inspired some of the writing, which is staying top secret.
Did I? Oh god, it's gonna be fucking terrible.
I have no idea what's happening.
Oh yeah, he keeps I'm like the person he bounces ideas off.
Seems to think you're a genius.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
It's the
I
accent.
treat Jamie
It's totally
the same
the
way
accent.
for my comics, so I completely understand.
God. Your
Were
faces
you-
when this all turns out to be horrible.
Were you asking about what exactly the partnership entails, or how that happened?
Well, yeah, both. Like, you know, how you kind of mentioned how it got started, but now, like, with that, what are you guys all doing with it now?
Me? Nothing. Because I haven't been given lines.
Basically, we share a lot of voice actors, and apparently both projects bounce ideas off each other?
Yeah,
There
he's,
will be... Oh. Go on,
no,
Corey.
you go ahead. No,
No, you go on, because you're going to talk about what I was going to talk about.
you.
No, you.
No, I'll go.
Okay. I've actually talked with Rosemark. He's actually helped edit some of Season 2 as well. His input has actually been very helpful, and I've helped him a bit with bounce ideas off for Welcome to Ponyville. Writer's Block and Rashi are both very talented. I've had the pleasure of talking with them. They're pretty good guys.
So that's been our interview with the Vinyl Scratch tapes. Right now we're going to actually go ahead and show the teaser for episode 4 that is going to be coming out pretty soon, and after that, we've actually got something special planned for it afterwards, so we'll see you in a little bit.
Fillies and genticles, due to some technical difficulties, there will be a short delay starting the show. In the meantime, I'm going to do a very special evening broadcast of the Vinyl Scratch. I'm the diabolical musical mastermind herself, DJ Pony.
And I'm Octavia.
And we'd like to welcome you to Octavia Stock. Doesn't that sound great? Thank you for coming to our very illegal concert. Hey, don't knock the billboard. That is well worth the 50 bits a month. I can't help it if the billboard says I'm the best. Trust me, when you put it in context, that billboard is very, very modest.
I'm convinced you don't even know what the word modest means now.
Yeah, funny story. Remember those diamond dogs who called in the other day? Security!
You hired them?
They're not so bad. I'm paying them in milk bones and costume jewelry.
That would explain why so many ponies in the audience have glow sticks.
So, what do you listeners think?
How much money did you spend on all this?
Okay, so maybe I spent a little bit on the stage and glow sticks and security. Because glowing.
Most concert halls don't hand out glow sticks.
Well, maybe they should. Have I ever steered you wrong?
Yes, you have. Frequently.
Don't be silly! I'm 60% sure we won't be arrested.
That's barely a passing grade. No, it's not just nothing. Not to me.
And deprive the ponies of a show?
Well, what's holding her up?
He can make fun of my show all he wants, but no pony insults my crew. Ever! I knew I'd be a bad influence on you if I just kept at it.
That's not something you should be proud of. I hardly think cancelling a show my ensemble and I poured our hearts into counts as being a visionary.
I think it counts more as being a tool. Unless, you wanted to change the basis of our relationship to making out and snuggling, because that'd work too. I'm open to that.
You really are a big softie, you know that.
It's all worth it if it makes you happy.
Most concerts I've played at don't have stages with quite so many speakers, or with pyrotechnics, for that matter.
I know, right? Isn't it perfect? It is 7 p.m. and you're listening to K-Cult. Are you ready to rock?
Hey, let's change the subject. Did you know I have a cat? I have a cat. Cats are great. Let's talk about cats instead.
So the next part of the interview, we actually have the voices for the Vinyl Scratch tape. So we have with us today Vinyl.
Hey, what's up?
And Octavia.
Hello.
We have Spitfire,
Hi.
who happened to bring with her Soren today.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And we also have a little bit of Octavia's ensemble with us today as well. We have Frederick.
Hello there.
And Beauty Brass.
Hi!
Oh, gosh.
Beauty, please tone down the volume a little.
Harper's here as well. Harper's here as well, but he's the silent type.
I can speak for Harpo. I always do.
He's waving, but there's, he's not going to say anything, I don't think.
So, Vinyl and Octavia, before you two started co-hosting together, there must have been at least something that you heard about one another. What did you know about each other?
Vinyl, if you want to go first, be my guest.
I guess so. I mean, people think that all I listen to is one type of music, and it's really not true. I'm a music appreciator, and so I always try and listen to at least a little bit of all different kinds of music. So even before I knew Octi, before she was on the show, I'd heard a couple pieces that her band had played, and
Ensemble.
I really liked them. Band, whatever.
Ensemble.
Whatever. And I'd heard them, and I liked them. I think I don't know. That was pretty much it. I didn't really know, the individual members of the band or anything. I just liked their music, so yeah.
That's a bit more than, I feel a bit bad now. I was going to say that I didn't really know much about her, except that I'd seen advertisements of the posters that she was going to be playing at clubs that I would never even dare to step foot in, and I just thought that she looked ridiculous, and I couldn't stand the thought of even doing the show, but the money was going to be good to pass up, so now I feel terrible. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Vine.
thanks a lot, Octi.
So I think about that, answer that question.
So Vinyl and Octavia, how do you guys select the guests that come on your show?
We don't really select anything. She just sort of opens up the phone book, all 12 numbers, and just goes down the number. Calls them until they won't,
doesn't hang up on us is on the show. That's pretty much how it works.
So, during one of your shows, I realized that Octavia had expressed concern about you starting a fire, and you had mentioned that it happened once. Do you care to tell us that story?
let's just say that her cello she plays now is not the same one that she started with.
I still will give you for that. It was pretty fire, though. I mean, the colors.
It was great. That was so much fun.
The varnish was like green, burned green, and purple. I've never seen green and purple fire before.
So far when the string snapped. Like, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, well, I didn't want my eye to be poked out. That would have been bad.
It would have been, but it was still pretty funny.
It was. Especially since the cello I have now is about 20 times more expensive and is a much greater quality. So I actually, I don't feel so bad about it because you paid for it. So
yeah, well, I mean, let me tell you guys, if you have never tasted a marshmallow roasted over a burning cello, dude, you gotta do it. It is like the most tasty thing ever. Seriously.
The chemicals that come off the varnish, though, it makes you see smells and hear feelings. It's quite incredible. And
Thank you, but no thanks. I'll pass up this.
So that's what happened. Vinyl.
Yeah. What?
That's what happened. We woke up in that strange creature's house.
Yep. Stop right there, criminal scum.
Oh dear. Oh dear. We were still tripping, weren't we? Because we woke up the next day and we were ponies again.
Yep.
So
yeah.
Apparently, if you eat marshmallows roasted off of a cello, you will hallucinate that you are a hairless beast, like this hairless ape creature.
Seriously, it's cool. You gotta try it at least once.
Or don't, because I was tripping very badly. I had what do they call it with the LSD? The bad trip.
Yes. Yeah.
But
wait, are you guys talking about humans?
Yeah. It's that in High Lyra.
Oh my god, did you guys really become humans for a day?
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. Lyra dear. I know we aren't the best of friends, but seriously, you need to get off this human obsession. It's kind of disturbing.
I can quit whenever I want to. I just find them fascinating.
Sure you do, Lyra. Sure you do.
Didn't I see you at the Best Young Flyers competition?
No.
I could have sworn I saw a green unicorn in the stands.
Nope. Are you sure you weren't eating a marshmallow that was roasted off a cello?
Pretty sure.
It was
a weird day. I got knocked out.
Was it a pie that was covered with marshmallow fluff? Because it could have been baked with cello heat.
That's very possible, but I think it was the concussion. I do believe it was the concussion.
So, can definitely do something to you.
Oh, I like them concussions. Yes, I do.
Who are you?
Where did you come from?
What are you? I can't even tell you.
Okay.
I think you broke Lyra.
Did I leave the door open? Maybe.
It's okay. I'll just leave. I know you're there, humans.
I like this chick.
There, Lyra. It will be all right. I think I saw something about gloves in the room down the hall. Why don't you go check that out?
Okay.
Anyway, so,
thank God.
Spitfire.
Yes.
We already know that you were best friends with Vinyl when you were Phillies. How did you and Vinyl first meet?
Oh God. It was before we were in school. My mom had taken me to the park, and Vinyl was there, and I think. Oh no, I remember now. I was in the swing, and I was trying to get to the top of the swing and jump out and start flying, but I was a baby, and it didn't really work. And then Vinyl she made it so I didn't break my legs. So that was awesome. And then we were just friends.
Yep. Didn't you land on top of me?
Maybe?
This sounds a bit dirty. I think we should avoid this topic.
Huh.
So, you're just blowing your nose?
No. He was laughing.
And it was mentioned that you've been on the show on more than just where they had you as for an interview. How many times have you been on the show?
How many times? Like an actual numerical value?
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds about right. 27.
Pretty much the only one left in the phone book that won't hang up on us.
What are friends for, Vinyl?
Exactly. What are friends for but to be guests on your obnoxious radio show? I don't like it.
So at least it gives me something intelligent to speak to for about an hour of my day. I actually look forward to your visits. It's quite refreshing from what I'm normally used to putting up with.
And
put up with, you know you like it.
And Spitfire, could you tell us about how you became a Wonderbolt?
I tried it out. Okay, actually,
interesting story.
Do you want a longer version?
Well, if there was something interesting to say about it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's pretty much entirely the fault of, this douchebag, Soren.
Hey!
Yeah, you know I love you.
Offense to that. Take slight offense to that.
You know you love it. But,
it's true, I do love it.
You two are like an old married couple.
Who says we're not?
Oh.
Not that old.
Wait, Spitfire, I didn't think you swung that way.
Really?
Unless Soren, are you hiding something from us?
Have people been saying that? Who told you?
Pretty much everybody thought that was the fact, really.
Oh.
All of us, really.
We've seen you with that cyan rainbow-head Pegasus from time to time. Like,
hey, she's stalking me. She's stalking me. That's not.
Oh,
it's very one-sided.
Stalking.
It's not conciliatory.
Oh, so that's what you call it now.
Also, she stalks pretty much all of us. She stalks pretty much all of us.
Yeah. It's kind of terrifying.
I find it flattering.
I like stalking Jeff.
Oh, crap.
Who let the dogs in?
Arf.
I take quite offense to that, I do. Yes.
I told you to wait outside.
I am a diamond dog. I'm not a middly little mutt. I'm not a mule. I am a diamond dog.
I have a steak.
There's steak.
You keep your mouth shut and you get steak, remember?
I like steak. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Cousin me over my own tongue. Nice to meet steak, Bernie. Yes, I like steak.
Okay, so...
Does he know you mean the wooden steak?
Shh, God. Spoil everything. No, okay. Octi-Rover, you get steak if you let us finish this interview in peace, okay? That's the deal, remember? Okay. Good boy.
I'm allergic to dogs!
Okay.
Alright.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So now, Vinyl.
Yeah.
It's been revealed that you've enjoyed playing a certain instrument as a filly. If you enjoyed playing this instrument so much, how did DJing finally win out?
Well, if you would listen to our radio show, you would understand in episode 3 of our transcript. You would know the story of that.
Exactly, and we don't need to say any more about that instrument.
No. Continue.
No, you like saying it. I hear you late at night, making awful noises because that's what they sound like.
Hey, now.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I should have never gotten you one of those things. I can't sleep. It's all I hear is twinkle, twinkle, little star, and old.
I can't help it that that's all I learned how to play. Okay. God.
But Vinyl, your accordion playing is beautiful. I don't see why it shouldn't be shared with the world.
Why did you say it?
It was funny.
It's not cool, okay?
I seriously thought she actually had talent when I bought that for her for Housewarming Eve. Boy, was I wrong! Sorely mistaken. I will never, ever listen to my instincts again.
It was the greatest present I've ever gotten, Octa. You shut it.
I love you too.
Now, Octavia...
hand me the sink bucket, please.
No kiss!
Octavia.
Yes.
In past episodes, you've had a little bit of trouble working the console. Is that getting better, or are you still having problems with that?
I'm pretty sure I know the power button now. So there's that. I think I figured out what the volume control is, but, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm hitting the right thing. There's so many flashing lights and little toggles and, I mean, seriously,
It looks like the inside of an airship in here.
My hooves are far too large to be handling these little tiny nubbins.
Hey,
I mean, I wish there was something else I could do, like, to hit them, like, with much more finesse. Because I don't have any way, with these hooves, to touch those little tiny buttons without pressing everything else around them.
It was designed for a unicorn. What can I say?
Oh, I mean, like on a diamond dog, for example, or a small dragon. They have those things. What are they called? Fingers, I think.
God, this one's bitey.
Hands. Oh no! Why is she back in here?
She's back.
Sorry, I'll go.
Door open.
No, it was closed and locked.
Oh. Then how? What? But stop breaking physics, Lyra.
I'm a unicorn. I can do what I want. With magic.
Unicorns. Yeah.
Oh god, if she and Pinky ever got together in one room, I think the universe would implode.
Who's Pinky?
That crazy...
She doesn't exist.
That crazy...
Forget we ever said anything.
Oh,
She
no.
sounds so cool. I want to meet her.
She lives in the same town that you do.
She really? Oh, she's that one.
Yeah, the one that's part of the Elements of Harmony. I mean, she's been all over the Cantalog radio and our radio station, K-Cold.
Oh, Octi, what have you done?
What? I'm just curious. I need to study this for science.
I don't know. The science is pretty awesome. You shouldn't knock the science of humanology.
I'm not talking about the humans. I want to see what would happen if craziness such as yours and hers were together in one room. Of course, I need to be on the other side of a one-way mirror, with bulletproof glass.
I prefer to be on the other side of the universe.
Well, if they can open up a rift in space and time.
If that's what you want me to do.
No, I suppose that wouldn't be acceptable.
I mean, there is that brown earth pony who wanders about from time to time, followed by that purple unicorn. Twilight, I think is her name. And sometimes that gray male mare that she's delivered muffins before.
Oh, with the bubble butt?
Yes, with the bubble butt.
Oh, I love Derpy.
Whose name? Stopwatch? What's his name? I can't remember. Clockwork?
Yeah, something like that, I think.
I think he's actually called himself a doctor of some sort, but I don't... I'm not... Yes, I've been talking about you for the last 5 minutes.
Oh. Really? Why?
Because I want to know what would happen if Lyra, with her crazy physics breaking, and Pinkie Pie with her even more crazy physics breaking, if you put them together in one room, if you would cause a rift in space and time with the breaking of this magical fourth wall I keep hearing about.
And I want to record it.
Yes, you must record it.
For
Can you arrange this?
posterity.
Doctor, can you arrange this?
I just might, although it might have some unfortunate implications for the universe next few long. But, it'll be an experiment, big adventure. Oh, brilliant.
Tons of fun?
Oh, yes.
Beautiful heart?
Quite possibly.
Faithful and strong?
Maybe, a little bit.
Kindness.
And sticks make it all complete.
Could make a really catchy song.
I think so, yeah.
I think it needs some final words, though. How about, and my little pony?
I was a
You okay here?
It's a small world after all.
Anything but
I was
that.
going to say my little diamonds. Must have more diamonds.
It's not quite as catchy, though, don't you think?
Not quite as catchy.
Hey guys, I just want to take a second and let you all know that you really are my very best friends, okay?
Aww. Well, you're our
Well,
best friend.
thank you for the sentiment, Final.
Jake is my best friend.
And you won't get one if you keep talking.
But I love steak.
Fine. I'm feeling nice.
Bacon! I like bacon! Bacon!
Does anyone have bacon strips? Diamond dogs don't know it's not bacon.
Shh, don't let him know.
He won't.
It's not bacon? What?
No, she's lying. She's the crazy one, remember?
I don't think pigs are sentient and mother's a pony. I know that sounds random in the conversation, but it's in the chat. No, pigs are sentient.
Octavia, have you been taking your pills recently?
No, but I think I accidentally drank some of Vinyl's glow stick fluid.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
Well, I was playing with one, trying to, crack it open and make it work, but I think I split it in half, and it fell into my glass of water, and I believe I might be tripping right now.
Octavia, hold up your hooves. Tell me how many fingers do you have on them?
10. I have 10 fingers.
Oh dear.
Oh wait, I'm that naked ape thing again. Oh dear.
Vinyl, do
Well,
you...
now that I know I wake up from this, I know that I'm just hallucinating, so this is quite interesting. I think I'm okay though.
What you know you can't explain, but you can feel it. Like a nail in your mind. Driving you mad. Mad.
I think I understand now why Lyra is so obsessed with these creatures. It's quite fascinating.
They are!
I miss fingers.
What was that?
Oh, no, that's ridiculous. No, not at all. Wasn't even at the time, Lord.
Wait. So does this mean that Vinyl's glow stick fluid actually allows us to see reality, and we're actually all these strange, hairless ape people?
You just blew my mind.
Deep, man.
I kind of
am
feel
known
like...
for sudden flashes of brilliance occasionally, yes.
I kind of feel like I have a connection with Beauty Brass and Lyra. I feel like It might be the same.
Have any of you been approached by a dark-colored unicorn who offered us a blue pill and a red pill? And told us that what we were living was a lie, because
he offered me cupcakes.
Oh.
They were quite delicious.
Perhaps
You ate them both?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I blacked out after meeting him.
I do remember something of that sort myself. Though they were Jaffa cakes for some strange reason.
Jaffa cakes. So delicious. Wait. Why do we know what Jaffa cakes are?
But Octavia, we can get them down in the store.
But we're ponies. We shouldn't know what Jaffa cakes are.
Ponies got Jaffa cakes?
Maybe they
Papa
do.
brings them to rehearsal all the time! God, Octavia!
I blame it on the glow stick fluid.
Blame everything on the glow stick fluid. Because glowing.
Everyone in the room is glowing right now. You all look like you're floating.
Octi, are you okay?
Maybe?
I think
This will be
after
fine
this
in the
interview,
morning.
we should, maybe take you to Nurse Redheart, maybe?
Meh.
Might be a good idea. Okay. Alright, Vinyl. I'll do what you want.
Now, Octavia,
Yes?
being an Earth Pony, how hard was it to learn to play the cello without magic?
Not hard at all, actually. But now that I have these fingers, I think I can actually play much better. I just wish they would last forever instead of, me waking up in a daze covered in my own vomit.
And I'm going to have to wash this up again.
Hey, they wiggled.
Oh dear.
Why did you have to see them? They're amazing.
So, Octavia, could you tell us a little bit about your ensemble?
Fred's the boring, just
Hey,
annoying
I
one.
can make jokes if I want to.
They're not funny. Beauty Brass has no
Hey.
voice relation. She's really loud, and I love her dearly, but I wish I could put a sock in her mouth.
Hey, I'm not loud!
Harpo, I like him the most because he doesn't say anything, and I sometimes forget that he's there.
I know he didn't do
Why don't you go make out with him right now, please? Do something with your mouth.
What?
Yes. You heard me.
He's a chippy now.
I'm sorry.
So how did you guys all meet and form this ensemble?
High school?
Except for
I
me.
started playing piano for her, in accompaniment to her cello, and I sort of never stopped doing that for some reason.
I think it's explained in an episode in the future. Because I can see the future now with my newfound glow stick powers.
Man,
I don't want to.
how wonderful rehearsals got out of hand.
Because I don't want anyone to say anything that's going to be out of canon because it will sound like, oh, how come you don't know that? Don't you know the story? I'm like, no. You're just
Octavia,
acting.
Octavia,
Yeah.
it was pooped as an owl.
I'm pooped as an owl? What?
You're as high as a kite.
Oh, I get that one. I understand that. That's DM, yes.
I was actually going to ask Vinyl if she was going to feature on Octavia's ensemble anytime in the future.
Wait, what?
were you ever going to feature Octavia's ensemble as one of your guests on the vinyl scratch tapes?
Oh, well, since you ask, vinyl.
That's a distinct possibility. I don't know why I didn't think of that before.
I want to be on the radio.
That's the reason why we haven't done it so far.
But I think they're booked sometime down the road, maybe half a year from now.
Yeah, something like that. But we're not giving that one a mic.
Oh.
It's going to take me that long to think of a good joke.
Start preparing now, buddy.
I shall.
Corey. Sorry. Breaking character. That's why I don't do improv very much, because I suck at it.
Well, I think that is about all that I had for you guys. Thank you so much for the interview.
It was a, what's the word? Oh, yes, pleasure.
I'm going to go outside and run screaming down the street now because, I feel lightheaded and...
Nom 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 nom.
I don't think I took any bath salts, no, but, I hope I don't wake up, somewhere where I'm regretting where I am.
Don't worry, Octi, I'll take care of you.
It's taken under done.
Aw. You're not gonna complain. Just don't complain about it, okay? It's the best I could do.
I was taking out blue plus arse.
Alright then. Coming up next, we've got the rest of the podcast, so we're just Alright, and we're back. This is going to be the weather report for the week. First thing we gotta talk about is that Ponyboro has been shut down. They said that it wasn't due to any sort of external pressure or financial problems. It was just personal reasons that they didn't go into. So instead, they're going to have their sister site Derpyboro take over instead. And it says that Ponyboro will be going dark on August 17th of 2012. So you gotta get ready to switch over to Derpyboro instead. So the link for that is in the show notes.
Alright, next on the list we have some news from AM2, which is an animation, music, and manga convention in California. And Tara Strong and Andrea Libman had panels there, and those have been uploaded to YouTube. And there is a link to that in the show notes.
Next thing is that Everfree Northwest has even more announcements to add to their ever-growing list of people that are showing up. William Anderson, who does all the background music and stuff like that for the show, is going to be there, along with two singers from the show, because being that some of the actresses don't want to sing, they have to have other people sing for them. So Sharon Chankent is going to be there as...
Shannon Chankent.
Shannon Chankent?
Yes.
Shannon Chankent will be there as a Pinkie Pie singer. She also does Silver Spoon. And Kazumi Evans is going to be there as Rarity singer. So that's going to be really cool as well. And the link for that is in the show notes.
Okay, well, I just realized that this news thing about Michelle Krieber's CD is no longer relevant because the survey has closed.
Really? Has it already closed?
Yes. Oh, forget it! No, it didn't. It was only showing that window because I already took it. Okay. I'm a smarty. Next on the list, if you remember from previously, we talked about Michelle Krieber's CD of covers of stuff from the last 100 years, and she was asking you to vote on the name for the CD. And the final round of voting has opened. So if you would go down over to the show notes and look in there, you would find a link to the survey.
All right. Candlelight Gardens also has a bunch of announcements that they had put out. For those of you that don't know, Candlelight Gardens is going to be in Strongsville, Ohio at the end of September. It's the 20th through the 30th. And they've announced that Kathy Westlock, the voice of Mare, and Spike is going to be there as well. They've also announced DC Douglas and Christina V as well. They've also got the crew from Legends of Equestria that is going to be there at the convention as well, and they also mentioned that they'll probably have a demo for that game as well. And there's also a musician known as Forrest Rand that is going to be there, and he will be performing his songs on stage. So that should be really cool. Link for all this stuff is in the show notes.
Awesome. Next on the list, we have a big BronyCon press release. They recently broke 3,000 registered attendees. And they only have enough slots for like 1,000 more people. Less than that at this point. And so they're having a concert called Bronypalooza at BronyCon at 9 p.m. on Saturday, and it ends at 2 a.m. on Sunday. And it's got a lot of awesome Brony musicians that are going to be performing live in front of people, and it's hosted by Rena Chan and Bree Faith. And some of the pony musicians who are going to be there are Beetle Bronies, Tarby, Laser Pony, Living Tombstone, Art Attack, Alex S, Omni Pony, Aviators, Mike the Microphone, Jackalap. Pretty much everyone that you've ever heard of is going to be there. So, there's more stuff on that subject in the link in the show notes, so check that out.
Moving on to more Derpy Boo news, Clover the Clever is the administrator for that site and has announced that he has worked through some of the more pressing issues, and it is now fully operational. So if you've had problems connecting over the past couple days, it should be up now and should be working fully. And the link for that is in the show notes.
Awesome. So, the next thing on the list is Sophisto put out a thing that is a warning. There is a show on TLC called My Crazy Obsession, and they're looking for people with a pony collection, which I'm sure many, many bronies actually have. But this show apparently is not, does not show the people on it in a positive light. It makes them look as crazy as possible. And this is they're leaving messages on boards and in brony communities trying to find someone for their show. And this is like the message to avoid is in the link in the show notes.
So the next thing to talk about is a huge amount of convention news. Equestria LA had a Q&A panel at AM2, and there are actually two parts of that interview on EQD. Love is Magic is going to be a game that is going to be at TrotCon. They've got a Q&A session at that convention. They're also going to be showing a bit of the beginning of the game. I actually haven't heard of this project before, and so that sounds like something I'd be interested in checking out. The BronyCon documentary is seeking military service members. They had Michael Brockhoff, who is the director of the documentary, extend an invitation to all current and former military service members to a lunch on them. It's going to be Sunday, July 1st at 12:15 p.m. at the Cheeseburger in Paradise right next to the convention center in Secaucus, New Jersey. So, if you are a current or former military service member and are going to be going to the BronyCon, or going to be in that area on July 1st, that'd be something that'd be really cool to go to. Just make sure you RSVP, and you have to also show your military ID for admission. All the information for that is on EQD. Midwestria has some really important information as well. They have opened, or they have been open for panel submissions for about 2 months now, and they're going to need some more. So if there is a panel that you need to do, then you can go over to Midwestria's website and fill out the submission form for that. The vendor and artist registration has been up for about a month now, and they're still filling up a few spots. So if you're interested in selling your artwork, you can fill out an application for that. They've also announced their first guest, which is going to be the developers of My Little Pony Budding Friendship, which is a slice-of-life game where you play as a blank pony living in Ponyville, and they'll be demoing that game throughout the weekend. They've announced they're going to be holding a Grand Galloping Gala-style formal ball, as well as 2 informal dances, featuring some DJ ponies, lasers, fog machines, cool stuff like that. They're going to be having a 5K charity race to benefit a local equestrian therapy center, as well as holding an iron pony competition. So that could be fun as well. They're going to have a field day set up on Saturday with several fun activities to do outdoors. And if you pre-register for the convention, you will receive an exclusive hint for their scavenger hunt, which requires you to collect the elements of harmony from various locations around the convention, and the first person to find all the elements will win a handmade Celestia and Nightmare Moon plush. The pre-registration increases from $35 to $40 on June 30th, so if you want to save a few dollars, take advantage of the lower rate while you can. Last thing on the list is actually from GalaCon. They have officially sold out. They said there's a couple of basic weekend tickets left, but mostly the tickets are sold out. And with that, they've also released the official program schedule. And the link for all this stuff is in the show notes.
Awesome. Next on the list, Equestria Daily. the hub of all ponydom has reached 200 million views, which ends up being like 6 million unique IPs. That is a lot of bronies, and that's a huge milestone for a website to have, and that's awesome. There's a link to that stuff in the show notes.
Everfree Radio has recently done an interview with Connor Cogwork, which, if you don't know, is the author of On a Cross and Arrow, which is pretty much the go-to gender bent fanfic, where Twilight Sparkle messes up a spell and they all end up in an alternate dimension where there's male versions of themselves. And so it's a pretty fun fic, and he talks about how that all came about, as well as a couple other fics that he's done as well. And the link to that is in the show notes.
Alright, next and final on this list, I believe, is the Summer Funimation project that held the scriptwriting contest a little bit back. Has wrapped that up, and while they haven't decided on a winning script yet, they're opening a storyboarding contest now for the artists. And they've given a page of dialogue of Rarity and Rainbow Dash cooking, and have asked you to storyboard that. And that is what you send in. And the winners get to work on their thing. And there's a link to the details in the show notes.
So, moving on from the weather report, it's time for the PMTV segment.
That was a noisemaker.
First off, I'll talk about the notable videos of the week. First of all is a really cool PMV that OMG I Like Apples came out with, called I Can't Stop Partying. And it's really cool because it's done in a really unique style. It's all stop motion animation, and it's actually done like a laser show kind of, so it's really, really cool, and you can take a look at that in the show notes as well. There was a Days of the Week compilation that came out by DJ Delta Zero, and it literally talks about every single time in the show they mention the day of the week, and what day of the week they mention most of all. So if that's something that interests you, you can check out that link in the show notes. The next thing that came out is something that's really, really cool. They have a fan, I guess, kind of like a episode, I guess, that is going to be coming out called Children of the Night. And they brought out an animatic for it, so that it shows you a little bit about what the thing is going to be about. Apparently, Children of the Night is about how Luna became Nightmare Moon and how she got banished to the moon in the first place. So that is going to be a really cool project. The YouTube video actually has a portion of the singing that's going to be part of it, which is absolutely fantastic. So, the link to that is in the show notes. Black Griffin has brought out yet another version of the whole Twilightlicious craze that's been going on. He did one for Fluttershy and now has brought out Pinkalicious, which is Pinkie Pie's version of it. So the link to that is in the show notes as well. RSMV2U has brought out what I think is a trailer for the series. He called it My Little Pony Friendship is Epic, and showed some scenes of the show along with really cool background music to make the show look extremely awesome. So, I thought it was a really cool video, and you can check that out in the show notes. last thing on the list to talk about is a new Rhythm is Heaven video. Betty Bovine Prod brought it out, and it's an Applejack version called Faithful Farmer. So if you're a fan of the Rhythm is Heaven videos that have come up beforehand, you're definitely going to want to check that one out. It was pretty cool. Link to that in the show notes.
Alright, now it's time to move on to the music. First on the list, we have a song by Pony Visation called Through Time and Equestria. This is a beautiful, beautiful piano piece, and it's all completely improvised. Like, he just sat in front of a piano and started playing this, and it's gorgeous, and it's written about the Doctor, as in Doctor Who's, and it's just a beautiful piece of music. Next we have Hint of Red by Midwives of Discord featuring Zera. And this song is so cool sounding. It's not really in a genre, but it's threatening and awesome and awesome. And it's really cool and really unique, and you should go listen to it. Next on the list, the second epic pony rap battle of Equestria has come out. Previously, it was Twilight versus Trixie, and this one is Prince Blueblood versus Big Macintosh. And it's really good. There was a really long wait between the first one and this one, but this one is worth it, sort of. It was a really long wait. It turned out really amazing, and it's worth a watch. Next on the list, we have a sort of, it's a cover of Big Brother Best Friend Forever, in a ska style, and it's by Octavia, the YouTube channel Music by Octavia, and this song it reminds me of 9 in the Afternoon. I don't know, it's in the show notes. Next on the list, we have a remix of Never Back Down, surprising nobody. This is remixed by Fimbulin, and this was really, really cool to listen to. It's got, like, a harp and stuff. It's awesome. Next on the list, we have a song by Cyril the Wolf called Where I Belong, or Spike's Song. And it's based on 80s metal, and it's unique in the Brony fandom. And it really fits Spike rather well, and it's a good song, and you should go listen to it. The link to all of those songs are in the show notes. Now, it's time to move on to the call board, which this week we do have a casting call. The casting call that we've been keeping tabs on for the past 2 weeks, the Daring Do thing by Pony in a Box, that has ended. I'm just gonna throw that out there just now. What we have this week is a fan dub of the entire season finale, Canterlot Wedding Parts 1 and 2. And they have some of the characters cast, but they are still looking for a Rainbow Dash, a Rarity, Fluttershy, Princess Celestia, Spike, Queen Chrysalis, Princess Luna, Minuet, Lyra, and that should be all. They have received a lot of auditions, but they're still, of course, looking for quite a few characters. So, there is a link to that in the show notes.
And to close off the podcast this week, we have the Fanfic Corner, with lightning. And the fic that I chose to highlight this week is called Dear Ponyville. The main plot of this story is that Rainbow Dash has been accepted by the Wonderbolts and has to move away from Ponyville to Cloudsdale, and has to keep in touch by writing letters. And so at the very beginning of this story, it talks about, you know, finding a box that has all these letters in it, and they literally just list them off one by one. It really reminds me of a fic that came out quite a while ago called Yours Truly. And this is supposed to be a pretty sad, heartwarming story as well. So you can find that link in the show notes as well. So with that, that is the end of our 5th episode of the Lightning Round. We hope you enjoyed it. There is no scheduled interview for next week, so we'll see what happens there. I know BronyCon is going to be going on, so we're going to try to see if we can squeeze that in somehow. But until then, we'll see you next time. I'm Lightning.
And I'm Robot.
And we'll see you next week.
I should have seen the signs. Chaos has risen again after all this time. Somehow I have to escape from this nightmare of a world ours has become. What happened to the nation we all knew? We're crushed under discord's rule. Where has harmony gone? Feels like Equestria's been gone for so long. One last thing that I gotta say. One more report before it's too late. I'm begging you to stop this chaos today. One last thing that I gotta prove. One final goodbye before we meet our doom. Something happened to the peace that we all knew. This is my one last letter to you. Tried to stop this on my own, but my friends have turned against me. I'm alone. So many running and screaming. I'm crying out, can you hear me? I refuse to believe that magic is dead. There has to be more than the conflict in my head. Dear princess, help me find a way to defeat the chaos rising today. One last thing that I gotta say. One more is the lesson I learned today, is that sometimes everything just fades up.